Hello, I did my project on one-to-one Chromebooks in social studies classrooms. Basically what this means is that in every classroom, specifically in social studies classrooms, every student will have the opportunity to use a Chromebook. What that means is usually there's a cart in each classroom, and within that cart there's at least enough for every student, and usually one or two extras in case one breaks. So the first reason to have Chromebooks in your classroom is because they're affordable. Schools can afford Chromebooks basically better than any other technology or one-to-one technology. That means they're more affordable than iPads or other personal laptops. They can replace computer labs, so schools can keep the computers, maybe move them to the library, and just put a Chromebook cart in every room. And we can see they cost about 45% less than other devices. Second, they increase media access. They give students more access to alternative forms of media. That means video lectures. You can see at the bottom we have the picture of Why Study Government. There are videos on YouTube or even just channels on YouTube that are clearly dedicated for student engagement and to help students learn. And next we can see podcasts and educational videos. Up at the top we have Constitutional. This is one podcast that I recommend to my students as an AP government class. For a couple episodes of Constitutional go directly over what we learn about in class. So it's a good way of really giving them more access to materials. So it's not just the teacher talking at them or students reading out a book. They can hear it, they can see it, and having Chromebooks in the classrooms, you can do that within the class environment. Next, we see more access to primary and secondary sources. There are hundreds of thousands of more sources that teachers and students can find when using Chromebooks and when using the internet. You can see I have the Constitution and I have a picture. You can use both text documents and picture documents. So really it just opens up what teachers can do in the classroom. As a social studies teacher, we are moving towards source analysis and less towards memorizing facts. So giving more and more opportunities and better sources is very, very good for our students. Second, it gives teachers more options on what and how they want to teach. I know for me, I wasn't happy with some of the textbook pictures and textbook documents, so I went online, found more, was able to share those with my students, and it makes it more engaging for the students. Next, we see Chromebooks are going to increase student communication. With this, we see teachers have to teach students how to properly communicate online. That means through formally and informally. So we see students having to write emails, and with these emails, they have to be professional. I know it's one of the biggest problems I've been having with my students is when they email me, they are not professional enough. They are very, very informal. So I spend a couple of minutes in the first part of the school year really teaching students how to properly communicate. Then we can practice using the Chromebooks. Second, students can communicate with teachers from anywhere. So if a student may be working at lunch or working during study hall, they can quickly email their teacher and be able to get a response almost instantly. So it really does help with teacher-student communication. And last, students can communicate with each other. So again, they can share their notes, they can send videos to each other if videos are helping, or they can assist on other assignments. So it really does help student communication, especially if a student may be absent during the day. They can still keep up with what's going on because teachers will post their lectures online, post their assignments online, and students can simply check what's going on through a Chromebook. So here we see Chromebooks versus iPads. iPads are really the other major one-to-one technology. I chose to look at Chromebooks because that's what I have in my classroom, and it seems to be what works better in a classroom in general, especially for middle and high school. The main thing we're looking at here is the price, keyboard, and storage. So the price, obviously, if you get the high-end Chromebooks, it's going to cost the same as a low-end iPad. But as you go down, all three of those Chromebooks are all good machines. They all can work in the classroom. As iPads go, it just gets more and more expensive, and a lot of schools cannot afford that. Second, we see the keyboard. Obviously, I want my students to be able to use a physical keyboard, basically because we're going to do a lot of writing. As you get into high school, middle and high school, you have to be able to type, and having an actual keyboard is really going to help. The digital keyboards with no mouses isn't very useful when it comes to going beyond high school and looking at what either college or the workforce. The last, storage. With a Chromebook, you have access to Drive because all students are going to have a Google account, and you also have access to the cloud. So that really frees up a lot of space for students to save their documents, save whatever they're working on, and be able to access it from anywhere. So in conclusion, Chromebooks are more affordable. They give more access to alternative media sources, more access to primary and secondary sources, and they have improved communication between students and teachers. Thank you.